Good evening. Welcome to Left, Right and Centre. I'm Vishnu Shom. On the programme tonight, a key meeting of 26 opposition parties, which includes the Congress, the Trinamool and the Aam Aadmi Party. They began attending a session to attempt to forge opposition unity ahead of the 2024 elections. Now, they have a lot of work to get done if they are to challenge the BJP. Forging a common minimum programme is key, but before they do that, they have to deal with their own political contradictions. Take, for example, two glaring examples. The Congress and the Trinamool have been fighting each other tooth and nail in Bengal. In Delhi and Punjab, the Aam Aadmi Party has had a direct battle against the Congress. How do these parties work through seat-sharing differences? The meeting today comes just ahead of a giant meeting of the NDA, with 38 parties expected to be in attendance. An attempt, a concerted one, by the opposition to try and work out a consensus ahead of 2024.
The stage is set in Bengaluru for a show of national opposition unity. 16 parties in Patna to 26 here in the second unity meet, which has taken over the Taj West End in Karnataka's capital city. Unlike in Patna, the focus in Bengaluru is the presence of Sonia Gandhi and an iteration that the Congress is the central force.
Sonia ji was very much there in opposition meetings. Whenever we are meeting, we are doing parliament agitation also, she used to be participated in meeting. Therefore, Sonia ji's presence, certainly she had a vast experience. Sonia ji's presence will definitely give a strength to the opposition meeting, certainly.
Congress's last-minute peace move on the Delhi ordinance paved the way for AAP to arrive without friction. Sharad Pawar will also be present despite the turmoil at home.
This is not an individual political party meeting. It is shaping this country for the future of 140 crores people who have been suffering on various issues. This is a meeting organized by the Indian National Congress. We are just the local hosts. We feel with this climate, with this understanding, with this unity, we will take it forward and the results will come out as Karnataka has given us a mandate.
The leaders are expected to iron out their differences, set up a subcommittee for drafting a common minimum program, suggest a name for the alliance and also pave the way for the 2024 election. There are serious issues to be discussed which requires depth negotiations. There is also a need to show concrete progress after Bengaluru. What with the BJP trying to demonstrate a similar show of strength with an NDA meeting in New Delhi. Clearly, a bugle for all alliances in the run-up to the 2024 election is loud and clear. With camera person Kumar, Pratibha Raman in Bengaluru for NDTV.
Well, it's now or never as far as the opposition is concerned. Are they going to end up running it a bit late, and will they be able to work through their internal differences? Well, joining us now, GVL Narasimha Rao of the BJP, Madhu Gaudiaski of the Congress Party, Jasmine Shah of the Aam Aadmi Party, the senior journalist Aarti Jairath with us as well, and we'll be joined by other members on this program in just a little while from now. But Madhu Gaudiaski, let me ask you first, Sonia Gandhi's presence, how important is this, and is her role essentially that of being a coalition builder, something that could possibly add heft to opposition efforts?
Absolutely, Vishnu. She's done it before. It works like a booster shot to the opposition unity. In 2004, if you recollect it, it is Sonia Gandhi's leadership and vision walking 2 steps ahead and meet Mayawati and other opposition parties, forged alliance where NDA and then at that time India shining, and the people thought a stalwart like Vajpayee was Prime Minister, and they thought undefeatable. And under Sonia Gandhi leadership, we did it, and we're going to do it again.
Jasmine Shah, is that something that you accept? I noticed, you would have noticed that the Congress Party is backing you as far as the ordinance issue is concerned. So in a sense, that is one of the main reasons why you've joined this party. This party also has the presence of Sonia Gandhi. Do you believe that she is the glue that is necessary to make all opposition parties stick together?
Vishnu, I think definitely the presence of Mrs. Sonia Gandhi is welcome. But what is more important is for this entire opposition unity platform to espouse common values. And the foremost principle and value that we wanted every member to talk about is saving constitution wherever it is being attacked. That is the reason Aam Aadmi Party made a big deal out of the Delhi ordinance, which is essentially finishing democracy in the capital of Delhi. And we are glad that finally Congress issued the clarification, just like every other member of this opposition alliance has. And it shows here that this is no opportunistic alliance. This is a real alliance talking about real issues, safeguarding our democracy, safeguarding our constitution, and the kind of weaponization of ED and CBI that has happened. If you look at what is the NDA alliance today, the common minimum program of NDA seems to be the fear of ED and CBI. That is the only reason all these people are still sticking together with BJP. But when you talk about the 26 parties that are meeting in Bangalore, they are coming here for the love for the country. They want to save democracy. They want to save constitution. We can have our differences as far as certain policy matters, but we are united by the fact that we love our country.
The question is, how united are you? Jasmine, we'll come to that in a moment from now. GVL Narasimha Rao, two questions. Firstly, Sonia Gandhi's presence, is that something that the BJP is concerned about? That she is a senior leader? Obviously she is, but that she could be that unifier which concerns the BJP. And secondly, the fact that they are working out their internal differences. You've seen the differences between the Aam Aadmi and the Congress, at least on the ordinance issue, appear to evaporate for now.
No, first let me react to this newfound love, a compulsion called love. I think it's these 26 parties, the only thing common in all of them is that they are all facing charges of corruption. Many of their leaders are in jail. They've been denied bail by the courts. So that is what is bringing them together. The love for protection, love for not for the country, but for the spoils of and for the loot that they have done in governance. And as far as Sonia Gandhi is concerned, she has been all around. I don't think she may have travelled to Bengaluru today, but she has been at the helm of affairs in the Congress party until recently. She was the president of the Congress party until a few months ago, when a titular head called Mr. Kharge was made the national president of the Congress. So I think it is the compulsion and desperation of these political parties which is bringing them together, and the desperation and frustration is visible on their faces even at this meeting. And what is the common agenda? Only anti-Modi and Modi, defeating Modi. They have nothing to speak for the country. They have nothing to really have. They have no positive agenda. It's only self-preservation and also targeting Prime Minister Modi. In fact, this newfound alliance will actually spur people to support Modi ji even more in the next elections.
Professor
Our vote share will be far beyond 50% in this election.
Professor Subodh Mehta, national spokesperson of the RJD, GVL Narasimha Rao does have a point when he says that, look, what is the agenda of the opposition? The fact of the matter is that you've still not worked out a common minimum program. When are you going to do that?
Vishnu, look, the agenda is very clear. The agenda is to reshape the idea of India. The idea of India has been distorted by NDA and in particular Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Look to the values that has been incorporated by the framers of our constitution. The idea of unity in diversity, the idea of democratic decentralization, the idea of social revolution. And this was must in order to have a freedom, equality and fraternity. This idea has been distorted by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the cultural hegemonic organization of Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. They have moved away from the constitutional values, democratic ethos and the political culture of this country, and they have sidelined with the constitution of RSS and the cultural hegemony that they are preaching right from 1925. Now, our agenda is to rebuild the nation. And how we can do that? We can only do that by coming together and sharing the power. Look to what the BJP president said on the land of Buddha, Bihar. He said that, there is no need for regional party. We will finish the regional party. And now, after 9 years, just because we have come closer, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has shaken and NDA has shaken, and that is the reason why 38 political parties, not even a registered political, state-registered political parties, these political parties of 1 and 2 people are coming together.
No, but it does indicate support for them, no? It does indicate support for them. I mean, if there is a revival of the NDA, isn't that exactly what the opposition would not want?
Look, Vishnu, you have asked a good question. It is not the revival of the NDA. NDA wanted to finish the regional political parties. This is what I am telling you, 2-3 months back. But now, because of our unity, this NDA has shaken and the writing is on the wall. After 9 years of rule, 9 months is left for them. And this is the reason why after 9 years, before 9 months, they have come together, to counter us.
So, Professor Mehta, let us see how far or where that slogan goes. I suppose we'll all have to wait for a few months. Manisha Priyam, you heard the Aam Aadmi Party and the RJD speak about the protection of our democratic ethos and our democratic values in the absence of specifics. For example, in the absence of, issues related to livelihood, employment, etc., there's a broader call for protection of democratic values and ethics. Do you believe that that is enough to actually stir the voters in their direction?
Unfortunately, I'd agree with the tenor of your question that no, this is not enough. Remember, the Aam Aadmi Party came on the back of a popular people's movement, but the fact that it won and re-won its elections in Delhi was largely programmatic in nature. There were programmatic offerings that were targeted at specific sections of the population. You had Mr. Mehta, who spoke on behalf of the Bihar opposition politics, let's say the new opposition politics where Nitish and Lalu are back together. Now that politics is also today reformulated as a Mandal plus development. You have a Sushasan Babu, and the social fabric of that politics is that the other backward castes and the extremely backward castes now are an extremely fragmented lot, but some coalition of sorts has been put up. Now, if the NDA has been able to fracture from there, the Vikassheel Insan Party, for example, is a party largely of the community of the Nishads. Now, erstwhile Janta politics had the loyalty of the Nishads also with them.
Right.
In UP, you can see the Nishads have clearly been with the BJP now 2 elections, 2 state elections, 2 national elections. So this fragmentation of the Pichdas therefore dents a puncture. I don't know how strong it's going to be. Now, Hindustan Awam Party, Jitan Ram Manjhi, whose creation was he? It was Nitish who gave him power, recognizing the power of Dalits of that caste. So it's not going to be easy for those who are sitting together in Bangalore today to claim all of what they had themselves created in the name of a Mandal politics or a regional developmental politics. And certainly, how will they weave together a positive agenda while trying to be on a defensive pitch saying, oh, we are going to save India. Last but not the least, remember, the battle that the opposition is trying to mount is a regionalized, localized battle, a Kannada battle fought by Kannadigas, trying to match up with a Delhi battle being fought now on very specific issues of Bijli and schools, a Bihari battle now, which is a mixture of caste names that people in Delhi will not even recognize. The difference between the Kurmis and the Koiris is not something which is national fabric. So while we will on the one hand talk of the grand politics of the idea of India or the democratic values, which we all aver to, the basic social fabric that we will talk about is highly regionalized in its caste.
I think that you make an important point, Manisha. You do make an important point, and I wanted to take that across to Aarti as well. Aarti, if you look at the BJP, already their call or their agenda for 2024 in the election seems very clear. There's a dominant leader. They keep talking about their policies. They keep talking about what they want to do. They keep talking about their international image. Whether that has an impact or not, we will see. But it's a strong government based on X number of schemes which they keep showcasing. So that is how they're approaching the elections presently. What is the narrative of the opposition other than the fact that we are the opposition?
Vishnu, I think the opposition still has to work it out and what they have to work out many nuts and bolts of this alliance, specifically seat sharing, and of course an overall narrative. Now, an overall narrative could perhaps be worked out at a large meeting like this, but the nuts and bolts of seat sharing cannot be worked out at a meeting where there are 24 parties present. These will have to be decided state to state, and they will have to be decided. It will have to be decided in smaller groups. So I think we have to wait and see how the opposition actually shapes up. But I think, I would like to say one thing, and I want to really point this out to the BJP spokesperson, where he talks about, the opposition facing corruption charges, and, that's why they're getting together to save their own skin. I mean, just look at what the BJP did in Maharashtra. It took in two leaders, two parties, it broke two parties and took in leaders who are themselves are facing ED and CBI charges, NCP and, the Shinde faction. So how come corruption doesn't matter when these people come over to join the BJP, but corruption matters when, when they are fighting against the BJP? The narrative that the BJP has been weaving all these years about it being above corruption and so on. Yes, certainly there are no charges of corruption against Narendra Modi, and he's very clean. But unfortunately, the people the BJP is associating with, many of them have charges of corruption. Yeah. So, how does that clean the BJP? How does the BJP claim?
No, that's an important point.
And I think
let's try and get an answer to that.
People see through this. People see through this.
Mahesh Tapse has been waiting very patiently. Mahesh, just bear with me for a minute. But I think GVL Narasimha Rao should answer that question. It concerns Maharashtra, a very specific example. So many questions on leaders with not charge sheets, but certainly allegations, right? So then, when you say that you're clean, you're associating with people who are possibly not clean.
No, Vishnu, I think what people look at is the integrity of the integrity and the image of the BJP when we go into Lok Sabha polls, and alliances happen in the states not out of your choice. Often they happen because you don't have a majority of your own. Ideally, we would like to have had a majority of our own, and in any case, if there are charges against people, none of these charges have been dropped, and they will have to face. But as long as they are part of the NDA government, I think it is the BJP's credibility, and BJP will ensure that the governments that BJP is a part of have a high quotient of integrity. And like Aarti herself accepts, in 9 years of Modi ji's rule, there is not even an iota of corruption, and which is what he is going to be the face of our campaign. Let me ask the opposition: who is going to be the face of the opposition campaign?
Yeah,
what is going to be? Who is going to promise? Who is going to be the face of the campaign? No, this is all very rhetorical. People of India, saving democracy.
No, let me ask Mahesh.
Our idea of India. This all sounds highly rhetorical.
Mahesh, who is the face?
So I'd like to respond quickly.
Is it Rahul Gandhi who's going to be the face? Is that something, Mahesh, that you believe that, say, the Trinamool Congress or the Aam Aadmi Party or the DMK would accept necessarily? Who is the face? Sharad Pawar could have been a face. I mean, he was very much a dominant leader among opposition leaders. He's not, he's now politically weakened, right? Let's face it, he is. So Mahesh, who's the face of the opposition?
Well, good evening all panelists and all viewers. Let me tell my friend from the BJP that we are a democratically organized 26 party unitedly facing the BJP challenge of destabilizing the democracy in the country. So face may not be important because we are not in a presidential form of government. We are in a parliamentary democracy where the elected members elect their leader in the house of the legislature or in the parliament. So that is absolutely not important. I would want to again go back to the question which Ms. Jairat asked our friend from the BJP. How are you going to welcome the same people that you have accused earlier? In case of Maharashtra, I hear that Ajit Pawar and Praful Patel will be going to attend, they will be attending the NDA meet tomorrow. So will JP Nadda ji absolve Ajit Pawar ji and the NCP of all the charges that were made by him? I think last week before the breakaway of Ajit Pawar from the NCP and joining the BJP government, just 2 days before that, Honorable Prime Minister said that NCP is a nationally corrupt party, 70,000 crores irrigation scam, and lo and behold, 2 days after we have Ajit Pawar joining your government. So I request you to kindly absolve him from all the charges. And can you make this kind of a statement tomorrow at the NDA meeting? That is what I want to ask.
Fine. GVL, would you like to reply?
No, I've already replied. This will be a repetition. I said there is anybody. We certainly have new members for a formation of a government, because hasn't every party in this group, has TMC not ever stated that Congress is a party that we don't want to do any business with? Has Aam Aadmi Party not stated that we stand for integrity and Congress is a party of corrupt people? Have they not made that compromise today? We have not compromised. We have certainly, for a government, for a stable government, we have partnered with some political parties, but it does not, any individual facing any charges, there will be no exemption, there will be no exception whatsoever. And when we say NCP is corrupt, the party is headed by a leader who is a tall leader of your 26-member coalition, Sharad Pawar. Certainly, why should the needle of suspicion not be pointing towards Mr. Pawar?
Yeah, but was he in the government? Was Mr. Pawar in the government of Maharashtra from 1999 onwards? He was not a minister.
It doesn't matter. He was
all the allegations that your government has done. You still want Pawar Sahib's blessing to be on a side. Why did the newly nominated members, 9 members who became ministers on the 2nd of July, had to go to meet Mr. Pawar yesterday, again today with the 30 legislators requesting his blessing?
That's something that Mr. Pawar should explain.
But isn't that something GVL that concerns you?
The BJP desperately wants Sharad Pawar. This is a problem. We don't want you. Pawar Sahib has said that.
No. Mr. Pawar might want to save his family or might want to save his party.
All right, okay, both of you, let's move on to some other issues. Jasmine wanted to make a point, and I'll just Jasmine, go ahead. Yes.
Vishnu, I just wanted to point out something very interesting in Mr. Narasimha Rao's response. When asked about the question that all your coalition partners are those behind whom you had put ED, CBI and called the most corrupt and now they are with you, he didn't even refute that claim. He is accepting that today what the singular achievement of Mr. Modi in the last 9 years is that he's made sure that there are no corrupt leaders left in any other party. All of them are gathered today in the BJP. And you say that no charges will be dropped, but you tell me one leader who has been facing charges, who joined BJP and since then has been called even once for investigation. The reality of what is this BJP's most corrupt model of politics is today known to the entire people. And today the issues, the substantive issues of the day, like inflation, like price rise, the kind of corruption that is going on in every sphere of the government lie unaddressed.
Okay,
and by creating a jumla of 38, 39 parties, Vishnu, it shows that there is a real fear. There's a real fear in Mr. Modi. जो पहले कह रहे थे कि एक अकेला सब पे भारी, today suddenly you have gathered 38 people and many of them are non-existent parties.
Jasmine, you made an important point. GVL, would you like to respond to the point that once a leader with charges or allegations joins the BJP, these charges disappear?
No, this is absolute bunkum. There is nothing of the sort that happened. If there are any charges, and then for anybody to say all these 38 members, I think it's complete falsehood. Most of the members, I will say most of them, they have nothing whatsoever against them. So what does Mr. Sanjay Nishad, what cases does he have against him? What does Mr. Rajbar? Come on, you can't make some sweeping, you can't make sweeping statements. And you can't utter lies.
What did Mr. Rajbar say? That Mr. Modi is the biggest liar. Your own partner is saying Mr. Rajbar has said that Mr. Modi is the biggest liar.
You said they are all facing ED charges. Please tell me what ED charges are these members facing? I am asking you a question. You said everybody is facing ED charges. You can't make such sweeping statements.
Absolutely. Shall I say what are these ED charges that Suvendu Adhikari, Hemant Biswa Sarma, Narayan Rane, Mr. Ajit Pawar, Mr. Chhagan Bhujbal? We can talk through the night about all your leaders who are facing ED and CBI charges.
Is Rahul Gandhi honest? Is Congress party honest?
Yes.
That is
No,
the
no,
reality.
what
you
certificate
stand
does
exposed
Kejriwal
today in
give to
front of the
Congress
nation,
today?
and
No,
you are
what is the
therefore running
certificate that
interest
Kejriwal
in
giving to
binding
Lahore
the
today? Please
opposition
tell us.
and the
Okay,
other parties together.
No, I want to ask Aam Aadmi Party, what is the certificate they give to Rahul Gandhi? What certificate that Kejriwal will give to
GVL,
Lalu
answer
Yadav
the
today?
question, don't deviate.
Have they all been broomed?
Vishnu,
Have
I
they
have
all
to
been
deviate.
painted white by the broom?
Single corruption charges in Rahul
Okay,
Gandhi.
one sec. Professor Mehta, go ahead. Yes.
No, is Rahul Gandhi, Lalu Yadav, have they all become clean?
Professor Mehta, the
Washington
point that
Chalu.
is being made is that there are double standards everywhere. You can accuse the BJP of supporting corrupt people. On the other hand, there is corruption all around, including in your own party.
Look, what Rao Sahib is talking about, Gulgulla khenge par Gulgulle se pareज. Okay, and what he talk about Lalu Prasad Yadav, ED, ID and CBI is against him. Right from the IRTC scam, which is going on. Look to what the ED director, the Supreme Court has to come in. That no, now there is no extension. Your appointment is illegal. ED, ID and CBI is an institution that has been put forward to target and tarnish
And
the
PM
image
should
of
have
Rashtriya
resigned.
Janata Dal and all the political
And yet the most dominant leader in your party has been convicted and jailed in the past.
Second thing, let me complete it.
Has he not been has Lalu Prasad ji not been convicted?
And
Structure
jailed?
of this country, which is there in Article 36 to 51, has been targeted and tarnished. And all the PSUs, all the assets of India and the model temples of India which Nehru talked about has been sold off. Right from port to airport to railways to everything. And regarding corruption, I tell you, in last 9 years, 12 lakh crore has systematically been siphoned away by the corporate houses. Apart from that, 5 lakh crore concession on taxes.
But sir, I'm sure you're basing everything you're saying on fact, Professor Mehta. But I think it's a bit disingenuous to accuse the BJP or any other party of supporting corruption when in fact your supreme leader has been jailed and convicted prior to that on multiple charges. I mean, it is a bit of a double
there is no charges at all. Vishnu, I am telling you, there is no charges
Lalu
at all.
Yadav was
These
not
charges
convicted?
have been framed by the CBI court. I am telling you, these charges
kya
have
wo
been framed
jail
by the
mein nahi
CBI
the?
court, and CBI is a parrot case.
Okay,
And-
all right,
and
okay.
when
Let's
it will come
not
to
just
the
focus on one
Constitutional
party.
Court,
Madhu
the milk
Gaud
and the water
Yasky,
will
let
be
me ask you
separated
this.
very nicely.
Professor Mehta,
there is
one
no
second.
corruption,
All right,
corruption has been
let this
made.
not be a
I'm telling
defense
you
of
right
Lalu
from the
Yadav
beginning.
because I don't have the court judgment in front of me. If I did, I could have challenged that.
It's
But-
a CBI court, I'm telling you.
Right,
It's
and
a
they have a
CBI
judgment
court.
as well.
When it will come
Anyway,
to a
okay,
he was
Madhu
jailed.
Gaud,
He was
everything
Madhu
will
Gaud,
be
Yasky,
proven.
one
He was
second,
jailed,
everybody,
he
GVM,
was
one
not given
second.
any kind of
Madhu Gaud has been
relief
waiting
from the
very
case.
patiently. Let me try and be fair to everybody. And Manisha is looking very upset at me not coming back to her for a question. Manisha, you'll be next. There, she's smiling now. But Madhu Gaud, does the move by the Congress on this Delhi ordinance signal a willingness to perhaps make concessions with the opposition political parties and ensure that despite whatever historic animosity you have, there will be an effort to engage them, that this is the first of many steps to reach out to the opposition, other parties?
Our reach out is based on the common principles of common good for the people of this country. Whereas BJP's opportunistic alliances with their own for 4G. Secondly, what GVL is conveniently avoiding, show me one incident of the leaders who are facing corruption charges. After joining BJP, the cases were continuing or they called for investigation. Secondly, our principles of reaching out to the parties is Bharat Jodo. Did GVL has added 1 minute, not even half minute, explain what they have achieved in the past 9 years, rather than just making false and wide allegations, this is an alliance of opportunism. If that is so, why they are scared? They are seeing that the ground is slipping under their feet, and they called suddenly 38 political parties which they left them, and they start an NDA alliance. My straight question to Mr. GVL, don't lecture on the ethics and morals. You talk about what have done Congress. If the Congress has not done anything to this country, where did you came to power? And secondly, there is conveniently not answering the demonetization to price rise to unemployment. Nothing there for their credit what they have done to this country. So today this alliance is based on the principles of common good, protect the constitutional institutions in this country. The new ECA is created by the BJP government, that ED, CBI and income tax.
Okay, so that one agenda one can safely say is there with all the opposition parties. Let's see if that will carry.
When the court passed an adverse remark, the concerned ministers should resign.
I just wanted to go across
never
to,
did it.
I just wanted to go across to Manisha for a moment.
Vishnu, one last word.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
In this, what I would like to state again here, Sri Advaniji has mentioned in 2012 to the BJP party MPs, Srimati Sonia Gandhi called him in 2009 when the UPA came back to power. There was a tussle between Advaniji, Jetliji and Sushma Swaraj, who could be the leader of opposition. At that point, there was a rumor that BJP may split. And Srimati Sonia Gandhi called Advaniji. This stated by Sri Advaniji himself, that country needs a strong opposition. No democracy can survive without a strong opposition. Please resolve your fighting soon. This is the stand of a Congress leader, Sonia Gandhi, and he is insulting a tallest leader of Dalit leader with 54 years of experience in the public life, and he's talking a nominal head. We did say that what Mr. Nadda is doing. So what you can't build a country without an opposition. With a dictatorial governance, you cannot do it. You have in 9 years, how many times Pradhan Mantri Modi ji called all-party meeting? Never.
To Manisha for a moment, sir. I just wanted to, Manisha, you know, tomorrow is going to be an important day of the NDA. Many political parties have sort of joined. Some of them are quite small, but I'm just trying to understand the significance of this. Chirag Paswan's faction of the Lok Jan Shakti Party, Eknath Shinde's already joined his faction of the Shiv Sena, Ajit Pawar now, O.P. Rajbhar's Suheldev Bharatiya Samaj Party, right? Then there's Jitan Ram Banji's party, Upendra Kushwaha's Rashtriya Lok Janta Dal. You know, these seem to be small standalone parties. Do they follow, do their joining follow any real arithmetic which could be beneficial to the NDA?
So in terms of principles, what's happened is that because of these fragmented, I would say, I mean, they represent what I just said in terms of social caste principles, the real bottom edge of the caste pyramid. That politics has been fragmented. It was the Mala Madiga fragmentation that Chandrababu Naidu tried, and then it was copied ad nauseum by other states where the Sushashan model was followed. Now, what it really means, therefore, is that elections will go to the drawing board for both major political formations. Now, I can tell you offhand, I know the Bihar arithmetic very well. I would wait to see how many seats the Chirag Paswan party can win of its own. Last elections, the maximum that it could do in the state elections was actually cut the votes of the JDU, and one of those reasons why Nitish Kumar broke away from his alliance with the BJP. He stated this as one of the reasons. Now, as far as the Vikasshil Insan party is concerned, remember, these parties add if you're winning, or they take away from a candidate who's likely to win. Right. Now, by themselves, they may not win seats. Now, therefore, what you will see is, you will see a Congress-led formation and a BJP-led formation, and both formations will work to cut the votes of whoever is likely to win. So this will become a very, very multi-cornered contest. And the answer to your question is that many of these parties really, they may have a party name, but by themselves really incapable of winning a large Lok Sabha seat of themselves. Now, it will also have to be seen that when they go and bargain, especially with the BJP, I believe the bargains that Mr. Chirag Paswan is making of the BJP, the one secure thing that party wants is a Rajya Sabha seat. So get us in first, and then asking for 5 or 6 seats. Now, in effect, these are not Dalit dominated seats that he will fight on. What they will do is, a lot of their members in the state assembly are actually from the forward caste.
Yes.
The Bhumihans dominate. Suraj Ban Singh dominates the Dalit politics of the so-called Chirag Paswan. So it will be a highly localized lens with which you will need to understand what's happening in terms of arithmetic. What I do see is that both the major political formations will have to go back to the drawing board. Even if seat sharing is done state by state, these major formations will have to have some nuanced lens of understanding who can potentially
some nuanced understanding absolutely imperative. Aarti, I know you have a point to make. I'm just wrapping this up, Manisha, but you haven't addressed the elephant in the room. Who's going to be the face of this opposition? Is it going to be Rahul Gandhi? Will Mamta accept that? Is it going to be Kejriwal? Will the Congress accept that, etc., etc.? We could go on.
No, I don't think the
Issues.
opposition is going to project a face, because I do not think they want to fight on a personality contest. They would like it to be on issues and, state-wise, make it an aggregate of state elections. So there will be no face to the election. But, I want to make one point. When the BJP has been now mopping up all the small parties to say that we have a larger alliance than the opposition. We have 38 parties, they have only 24. But the fact is that when they sit down to do seat sharing, how many seats is the BJP going to be willing to share with these small parties? And if they don't share with these small parties, will these small parties still stay with them as the elections draw closer? Or will they start then gravitating towards the other side, which may be more willing to accommodate them, because the other side is very desperate, much more desperate than the BJP. So, I mean, it's all very well to grandstand today, but the real nitty-gritty of this election will have to be decided in the next few months, and we'll have to see how things pan out, because if the BJP is going to start accommodating 38 parties, it won't have very many seats left to fight itself.
All right.
And
Well,
that's going to be...
so what is the future of the smaller parties within the NDA?
I would like to...
I know GVL wants to make a
right.
point. I'm sorry, I'm out of time. Professor Sahai, I'm completely out of time on this program. We'll take Professor Mehta. We'll come back to you in a while. I'm sure in the future we'll be talking about this non-stop.